Welcome. Thank you. Thank you very, very much for turning up in such big numbers on what is a very special effort to celebrate a state that is growing faster than the rest of the country, and how. An SDGP of 49% compared to the national growth of 29% somewhere, 45% compared to a national growth rate of 29% if I've got my numbers right. And under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, Assam not only has emerged as a state, as one of the fastest growing economies of Bharat, it has also emerged as the fulcrum or the pivot to the entire Northeast. And that is something which is personally very, very gratifying and heartening for me, because when I came here way back about 20 years ago, and I was wondering, this state has so much potential and it's not talked about. All of Bharat does not know so much about the Northeast, including Assam. And today I'm so proud that in the last 1 year I've come here twice. So more and more people should come more often, and they will realize how much this region can contribute to the country and what all is happening here. And we are proud to be able to do it as part of the largest private news network in the country, that is News18. And I stand on behalf of a team that is so proud that we represent all of Bharat and across Bharat. 77 million viewers, that's the kind of reach that we have. 770 million viewers, beg your pardon. That's the kind of reach that we have. And I have to thank our own partners here, our own colleagues and sisters and brothers from News18 Assam, without whom we wouldn't have been able to, at CNN-News18, put together this Mood of Assam Town Hall. So on behalf of the entire News18 network, on behalf of CNN-News18 that is celebrating 3 years of unparalleled leadership as the #1 English news channel, it is indeed very heartening for me. And thank you for being here in such large numbers. What we're going to do today is step aside of politics. We're going to talk to people from various sectors, various walks of Assam's growth story, be it AI, be it startups, be it industry, be it the health sector. And of course, we're going to celebrate a little bit of culture and the women, the power, the true Shakti of Assam. So we invoke Ma Kamakya's blessings upon us and pray to her as we begin with something, a festive period that is just around the corner. We celebrate it in Kerala, where I belong to, as Bihu. It's also Puttandu, or the Tamil New Year. It's also Bihu, the Rongali Bihu, which is about to come in April. And I have always been fascinated with Bihu. It just makes everybody smile whenever it is performed. And it was, again, a moment of pride when Bihu enters the Guinness Book of World Records in April 2023 with the largest number of performance, and the whole attention came to Assam, and everybody said, oh, I need to pick this song and I need to learn this dance. And it's also made its way internationally. We also have a young girl from Assam who's got the world record for the maximum number of spins, 72 spins that she's been able to do. That's also from here. So there is so much more to celebrate, so much more to talk about beyond politics, beyond what is going to happen very soon in Assam, where Assam is going to vote again and elect its next government, as it happens, as an election cycle. But as a people's cycle, as a growth cycle, as a sociological cycle, where is Assam? Where are we today? And how can we collectively move forward? And what can we do to contribute to Bharat's growth story? And especially when Bharat looks the most stable, when there is so much turbulence that's happening all around. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also going to be in Guwahati later this afternoon. He's already in Assam. There's a big launch. The grant of land to the tea garden workers and the people is a big announcement that's come in from the Honorable Chief Minister, and it's being hailed by the Prime Minister. He's in Kokrajhar. But before he arrives into Guwahati, let us celebrate what the growth story of Assam is together. Without much further ado, we'll begin the proceedings for the day with a fantastic performance from the troupe of the very popular Pratiksha Rani Borgohain. Her troupe, her team is here to present for us, and it's over to them. So let's begin in some celebratory style, get that energy and that mood up before we get into the conversations of the day. Over to you.
বহি নিয় আছে হায় ঐ টাকুৰি ঘূৰা দি ঐ ঘূৰিবা নাচনি ঐ তোৰে চেনাই কাষতে আছে ঐ সেউতি মালতী ডাঙৰ মাই ঐ সৰু মাই ঢোল পেঁপা গগনাই বিহু লৈ কেৰিঙিয়াই বসন্তৰ বল বাগাতে জানো লগা নাই কুলি কেতেকীৰ মাত কাণেহে জাগাত নুশুনা নাই নাচ সেউতি ঐ নাচ মালতী ঐ কঁকাল নো ভাঙি ভাঙি হাতে নো মেলি মেঘেলি না বসন্তত ওলাল কুহি পাত বিহুলৈ বুলি খুদি দেৱে লগালে তাত ঐ তাঁতৰ খালত বচুঙাতি লুকুৱাই আনি গেলো বিহুতে বজাবলৈ গগনা সাজিলো দিয়া চোন বোলাই দিয়া দুখনি হাত বজাই দিলেহে ওলাব মাতৰ মাত বজাই দিলেহে ওলাব মাতৰ মাত শাওনৰ পথাৰত মৰম কণ হালেনো বাই থাকোতে ঐ চেৰেং চেৰেং কৰি মৰম কণ তোমালৈ মহনত পৰে ঐ কাচি ধুৱা বহাগী ঐ দেখা তোমাৰ বাৰ্ষিকিলে ঐ আজিনো বিহু তলিত ঐ মোৰেনো মন ধৰিলে ঐ এইবাৰ বহাগত মৰম কণ লগৰি মোৰ সবানে ঐ মোৰে ভঙা পজাতো মৰম কণ লখিমী মোৰ সবানে এই সবানে ঐ লখিমী তুমি ওজা দৈ নৈছে চাপানি ওজা দৈ খাবলৈ দিলা ওজা দৈ নৈছে চাপানি ওজা দৈ খাবলৈ দিলা ওজা দৈ নাদছে চাপানি নাদছে চাপানি পাই ওজা দৈ অন্তৰৰ মদমবোৰ ওজা দৈ দিবলৈ দিলা ওজা দৈ অন্তৰৰ মদমবোৰ ওজা দৈ দিবলৈ দিলা ওজা দৈ আনৰ মৰম চেনে পাই আঘোণৰ পথাৰত ধানে দাই আছিলা তোমাৰ কেঁচা ঘামে দেখাতি তিয়ালা পোকে পোকা ধাননি ঐ নিৰলা দাৱনি ৰঙা চোলানি পিন্ধিবা এনে তুমি শুৱনি হৰিণী যেন হৰিণী হৰিণী যেন হৰিণী লাগে ঐ জীয়া থলে দেখি জানৈকা ঐ মাছ কাষেৰে উজালে বিলৰে গৰাকী জানৈ মতলীয়া কৰিলে গাঁৱৰে জীয়ৰী লখিমী বোৱাৰী জানৈ নাচিবলৈ ধৰিলে দেখা পাই ঐ বিহু আমাৰ বাপতি দেখা পাই ঐ বিহু আমাৰ বাপতি বিহু আমাৰ বাপতি ভাগু বিহু আমাৰ বাপতি বিহু আমাৰ বাপতি ভাগু
Can you guys hear me? I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear your applause. थोड़ा सा और, थोड़ा सा और, थोड़ा सा और. Lovely. Thank you so much. So beautiful, so nice. आपका तो आज अच्छा. ये वो हॉर्न क्या है मुझे बताइए.
At the very outset, I would like to thank CNN-News18 for giving us the opportunity to perform here. So I really, from the deep core of my heart, I'm thanking them. And now about this one, this is...
I have to thank you for giving us such a good start. You got such amazing voice and you play the flute so well. It's just amazing. He was the one who was singing, no?
Yeah.
Oh, what a voice you have here. But what was he singing?
He was singing about the love, about the, the environment he was singing about, and how the spring has ushered love and, love and devotions to one's mind. So that is what they all are about singing.
Right.
And they're also about singing the situations like, going to fishing, then going for harvesting. All these have been encompassed here in these songs.
Right, and I could see you also moving.
I'm also moving, but but I'm fat, but still, I'd like to dance.
But what is this horn?
This is actually called buffalo horn pipe. It is being divided into three parts. This is the buffalo horns. Okay, this one is made up of wood.
Okay.
And here you can see
cane or bamboo.
Two harp is there. Okay. So this harp is made out of water reed.
Okay, water weed.
Water reed, which is being found in the, silt area of this one, the rivers. So it grows only there. So we have to cut it down, then we'll have to make it in the harp.
Oh, lovely. And so it is three different kinds of elements or wood. I won't say wood, but horn, there is wood, and there is also the water weed. And then you get the notes out of it. But these air holes,
music. Like if I play, if I hold the upper two, then it will come this. Then if I close the second hole, so in this way we just it's come out.
You're making noise. You're making great music. But my point is, how much time does it take for you to learn this?
This is what to say. This is a long process actually.
Long process. I could see that.
Within a year
the longest process for me is to get that move, the way the ladies move. No, you just can't get it, man. The footwork is so simple. It just looks so nice. It's so elegant. But you try and do it, you end up with a bad back. But you can't get it.
Thank you. This sometimes happens.
But that's something which I'm going to do. The next time I'm going to come here, I'm going to perfect this. I've got to learn this so that I can come up on stage and I can dance with all of you. Well, fantastic. Big round of applause to all of them. See, the gamusa and the mekhala looks so lovely. I couldn't recognize these ladies in a short while when they changed their attire, but they look so beautiful, so nice in this attire. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Big round of applause
for
this group. Yeah, let us now begin the proceedings for the day. After that fantastic mood lifter, I can just keep watching so much more of it. It's just amazing. And the words, the lyrics. But let's talk about one sector which they say health is wealth, but we believe health is wealth literally also. Assam can become perhaps the hub of medical tourism. From 3 to 13 different medical colleges, there's been a surge, not just for all of Northeast, but the rest of Bharat and also the world. Is there a potential? And how far are we from realizing that potential? Are traditionally the Ahomia healthy people? Are they fit and strong? Or are the impact of multi-processed food, our dietary habits moving away from the traditional to the Western, are they also affecting our own health? And how is a strong Assam, a healthy Assam, how is it vital for a story of a Viksit Bharat or a vision of a Viksit Bharat? So joining us up on stage are medical professionals, very, very able medical professionals who've taken time out of their busy schedules to come and have a conversation with me. I'm going to be having this chat, but it's my pleasure to be able to call upon stage and introduce our guests one by one. Dr. Devji Chaudhary, General Surgeon and Associate Professor at the Guwahati Medical College and Hospital, the GMCH, which is now going from 500 to 5,000 beds. So that's a big transition. Dr. Chaudhary, please, would you please come up on stage? He's been appointed as its superintendent in August 2025 with over 29 years of experience. He specializes in trauma, gastrointestinal and laparoscopic surgeries, and he's previously served as a superintendent of the State Cancer Institute, Assam. Dr. Devji Chaudhary. Okay. Dr. Amal Chandra Kataki. He is a veteran oncologist, former director of the Dr. B. Barua Cancer Institute in Guwahati, and he's made significant contributions to cancer care, research and education. He's published 218 research papers. Thank you, Dr. Kataki. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you. Dr. Hitesh Barua, he's here with us. Dr. Hitesh Barua is the Managing Director of Nemcare Hospitals Private Limited, a prominent healthcare institution in northeast of Bharat, and has treated over 10 million individuals since founding Nemcare in 2001. Namaste, Dr. Barua. Thank you. Please come. Dr. Rupam Das, a diabetologist by profession. His professional qualification are MBBS, MD from the Guwahati Medical College, FDAB from the Dr. Mohan's in Chennai, and CCR from the Symbiosis Institute, Pune, FRCP, Edinburgh, and a fellow diabetes India. He's over 25 years of clinical experience. Lovely. I'm going to check if Dr. Pratiksh Bora is also with us, and we are waiting for Dr. Devji Chaudhary also. So we will get them to join us. Dr. Pratiksh Bora, prominent pediatrician and child specialist based in Guwahati. So these two gentlemen will join us whenever they are here. So we'll add the chairs and get them to have the conversation, but let's start. Oh, by the way, I'm Anand Narasimhan and Pallavi Ghosh, my colleague. Both of us will be taking you through the sessions that we've planned in this Mood of Assam Town Hall. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. First up, let me ask you, Dr. Hitesh Barua, how easy or difficult is it to expand business in Assam now? How have things changed in the last 4 or 5 years? Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you reduce the music? Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Hello, hello.
Yes, yeah. So how have things changed? How easy or difficult is it to set up a chain of hospitals and to spread healthcare, not just in Assam, but all across the Northeast? Have things changed under Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma's leadership?
Yeah, this actually, the Northeast region is undergoing a transition in healthcare development. So while public health system remained essential, the private and corporate sector also essential, and we have to provide all hospital facility with modern and with equipped hospital. So we have to, private hospital and corporate hospital are increasingly playing a major role and transformable role in providing advanced modern hospital care, invest in infrastructure, and reducing dependency on outside. That means metro cities. We are now, our catchment area is limited. Our catchment area only the northeast region. So, patient go to outside from northeast region for modern treatment, but we have to reduce it. We have to reduce our dependency on metro cities. So we have to develop infrastructure in our own place. That is the thing. So main reason is medical migration. All patient goes to outside, like metro city, Chennai, Guwahati, Calcutta, Hyderabad. But patient not come from Hyderabad, not come from Chennai, not come from Delhi, not from Calcutta. So we have to develop our infrastructure. We have to develop our modern advanced infrastructure, and most important is human resource. We have to develop skilled human resource in our own place. Then automatically it will be developed.
That's true, but is it changing? Is it developing, or there's much more to be done? Now there's a new Terminal 2 that's going to come. There is going to be international flights that will be encouraged towards Guwahati. Will that change things? The other thing is, Dr. Rupam Das, I'm going to ask you, is it easy to set up business in Assam now than it was before?
1 second.
Yeah. Yeah, mic was on. The mics are all, yeah, it's on, yeah. So I'm asking you, is it easier now than it was before? What more needs to be done? Because he talks about medical migration. I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, it has improved a lot, but I mean, a lot needs to be done more. We cannot be satisfied with what we have in our hand today. If we are satisfied, then there will be no development further. So we have to keep our minds open to more development, but we should be satisfied that currently what scenario is there, health sector is improving. And what you can see is that a lot of new, MNCs are coming. That is showing that Guwahati as a whole or Assam as a whole is improving in the health sector. But what needs to be done from our side is that we need to be a little more vocal, so that rest of the world knows what we are doing and how, what we are capable of. Then only people from outside will come. Mostly we are expecting, say, international patients from the neighboring countries. They are there. Bhutan, Nepal, other countries, they are coming. So with the connectivity improving, I think more and more, medical tourism will be, developing. So it's definitely going to improve.
Okay, so Dr. Devji Chaudhary is with us. You're the first person I introduced, Dr. Chaudhary, but good to have you with us. You are right now the superintendent of the GCMH. Now that's gone from a 500 to 5,000 bed hospital. That's the whole transition that GCMH is going through. But Dr. Kataki, first I'll ask you and then I'll go to Dr. Chaudhary. Cancer is, they say, the next big pandemic. The silent pandemic or the silent killer is cancer. Sir, the mics are all on. You don't need to press the buttons. They will, if you press the button, it will go off. So, my question to you is, do you see Guwahati as also one of the important hubs where cancer treatment, cancer research can be pushed and also encouraged, where people can come here and heal themselves? Is that possible if you look at Assam as a hub for cancer research and treatment?
As you all know, as per
Switched off your mic. Yeah, play it.
okay, as per the ICMR report, incidence of cancer is highest in the northeastern region, and that is why this area is called the cancer capital of the country. Okay. Till some time ago, we have in Assam about 4 cancer hospitals. I'm in this field of medical profession for the last 36 years. And in the last 10 years, from 4 cancer hospitals in the state of Assam, the number of cancer hospitals has increased to 15. 15, and these are all well-equipped centers. This is a network of cancer hospital. It is called, this network is called Assam Cancer Care Foundation, the hub and spoke model. The objective is to make cancer care accessible, equitable, and affordable. And that this has made a significant impact to lower the incidence of cancer, because it has got a component of the community oncology for prevention and early detection of cancer. As you all know, there is always a shortage of oncologists in the country in particular, and the northeastern region in general. So what we have done, we have taken steps to create human resource in the field of oncology. And as of now, at Dr. Bihu Cancer Institute and also at the State Cancer Institute of Assam, we have super specialty courses in the 5 disciplines of oncology. And then there are only 5 or 6 centers in the country having 5 super specialty courses in oncology in one given center. These are all the success story. And we in Assam see about 34,000 new cancer patients. And in the Northeast, the burden is about 45,000 cancer patients. For 34,000 cancer patients to have 15 cancer hospitals is a big achievement, and then 7 more would be added.
Yeah, but it's not enough. See, on the one hand, it's a worrying trend that you're saying this is the cancer hub of the country, and that there are 34,000 cancer patients in Assam. That's a huge lifestyle challenge, and that's one alarm bell. But the other side is the opportunity. That means you need more oncologists, you need more cancer hospitals, and there needs to be more cancer research, because there are 200 different types of plus known cancers. So all these cancers would be spread, and there would be certain ones which would be more than the others, but there would be rare ones. So that also presents a huge opportunity for research and also for study. So is the GCMH working on this, Dr. Devji Chaudhary, trying to create a medical hub in Assam, especially Guwahati, and make it perhaps one of the places for, if I may say that, medical tourism, where the world over people come here not just to get cured, but also to learn, to study, and it becomes a research hub also.
So, good morning to all. First of all, I offer my apologies for coming late. Very pertinent question that you have asked. Just to go back what you have asked, Amal Kotagi sir, because I was the superintendent of the State Cancer Institute. Just I have been shifted from the State Cancer Institute to the Guwahati Medical College Hospitals, GMCH. So in SCI, as sir has said, we have a 3-tier system. Apex is the State Cancer Institute, where we have the research facilities and all the latest in the world in the field of oncology, medical oncology, surgical oncology, radiation oncology, nuclear medicine, all the subjects are incorporated. In fact, we are also planning to start the proton therapy there in State Cancer Institute very shortly. The tender has already been taken out. So it's a big step for the country, for the northeastern part of the country. And I'm sure the people will be benefited by the proton therapy. And that is a tier 1. We have got hospitals in tier 2 as well as tier 3. So coming back to the main question that you have asked me, in Guwahati Medical College Hospital, it's a conglomerate of hospitals. It was started as a hospital in 1960 with 1 building. And sir has also passed through the corridors of our hospital when he was a student and postgraduate. So starting from the main building, we cross the road to the other side. If the people are well versed with the geography, it's one side, we have the main hospital. We crossed over to the other side because there was lack of space. So we built the cardio neuro center there on the lines of cardio neuro centers of the All India Institute or CMC Vellore. So we have the CN center, dedicated for cardiac, that is cardiology and cardiothoracic, and neurology and neurosurgery. Then we have another building, there is a super specialty hospital that takes care of the urology, nephrology, endocrinology, pediatric surgery, all other super specialties. Now we have built the maternal and child health hospital. Very recently it was inaugurated by our esteemed Chief Minister, sir. That is the maternal child health hospital, 832 bedded MCH hospital. That will take care of all the branches of obstetrics and gynecology, starting from the normal deliveries to cesarean section to neonatology, everything, and also pediatrics. So we have the MCH there, we have a CN center, we have a super specialty, and the main hospital. Talking about the research facilities, we have got our own in-house medical research unit, MRU. In fact, our MRU got the best prize in the recently held conclave in New Delhi. So it was a big achievement for our institute because they were awarded amongst the best in the country. We have got research in different disciplines. We have got research in neonatal. We are doing the neonatal screening program where we detect the neonatal diseases by genetic testing. So those are the projects that we are having, and also any new project that involves research, we are actively pursuing it.
But my question is the larger one in terms of the potential and the gap between the number of people who are ill, falling ill, be it diabetes. Diabetes also, the whole number is an astonishing number. Dr. Das was telling me more than 1 crore patients across the country, 10 crore who have type 2 diabetes. And Assam has a huge number in that. They all need medical care. And that's why I'm coming back to you, Dr. Barua, and asking you, how easy or difficult is it to set up care hospitals? Because if I have 34,000 cancer patients and my biggest hospital is 5,000 bed capacity across disciplines, it's not enough. So there is a huge gap, and that gap also means it's an opportunity. One, people have to improve their lifestyle, but those who are already ill, they need treatment. So how easy or difficult is it to set up hospitals? How easy or difficult is investment coming in? Because Assam is one of the fastest states where investment is coming in. It's attracting huge investment. Is it coming in as an entrepreneur yourself? How easy or difficult is it?
Right.
Yeah, it's on.
Right. It is.
It is on. It is on, sir. It is on.
Hello. It is good question, and actually it is recent. We have to think. We have to give stress. Affordable hospital in our own region. How is it possible? Actually, my humble request to government also, through your channel, CNN and 18, News 18, the private partnership, PPP mode. We have to establish hospital in PPP mode, private public partnership mode. Then it will be affordable, and we can reach to every corner of North-East region. That is most important things. So we can fill up the gaps, bridging the affordability, bridging with advanced technology. You see, your communicable and non-communicable disease also, we are suffering from this also. Non-communicable, already sir said about the cancer. Cancer is high reach. If we compare now, 75 to 85% goes to outside for treatment. Yeah. That is about not only cancer, in cardiovascular disease, cardiac disease, and diabetes. You also already you mentioned it. So to fill up the gaps, we have to make and we have to concentrate affordability, accessibility, and advanced technology, which human resource skill development.
Right. But do you also have enough number of people making medical equipment? Because a lot of the medical equipment is not domestically made. Do you have an opportunity there where in... Yes, Dr. Karki wanted to say something, and then Dr. Das.
Yeah, I am very happy to inform you that Government of Assam has taken a very big initiative to tie up with IIT Guwahati. It is called Assam Healthcare Innovation Institute. The very idea of setting up this is for the research, for the innovation, and then a super specialty hospital. And as a part of this initiative, IIT has already made an indigenous MRI machine. It is a small field MRI machine, which is usually cost about 16, 17 crores, and then this machine cost about 1.5 crores machine. Wow. Only 1.5 crores. Wow. And then also, IITZ, in collaboration with the Guwahati Medical College, has developed the first prototype of robotic surgery machine. This is one. Again, Government of Assam has taken this initiative to incorporate artificial intelligence, like in Guwahati Medical College, contactless patient monitoring system in the high dependency unit at the pilot project. And also in 41 hospitals, government hospitals in the state of Assam, for intrapartum monitoring during the delivery, because shortage of staffs are always there. Yeah. They are fitted with cardiotocography, and then these patients are monitored with the help of artificial intelligence so that any complication that are detected at a very early stage. So a lot of initiative has been taken up by the government of Assam, also by the public sector hospital, even in Health City Hospital, which is one of the premier private sector hospital. They have also incorporated artificial intelligence and then the CT scan machine. As you all know, there is shortage of radiologists, shortage of medical staff. By incorporating probably artificial intelligence in radiology, in the pathology, a lot of the shortcomings can be overcome, and this is in the right direction.
So there is a supply gap and there is a demand gap at various levels. Also, if Kerala can become a nursing hub, why is Assam not a nursing hub? Why is the Northeast not one of the biggest nursing hubs and training centers for the world, not just for all across the country, for the world? These are things which somehow are they happening? Can they happen faster, Dr. Das? Or these things take time? Because to study nursing, to graduate, it will take at least 3 years. I can open one college and there can be 2,000 students, but I need 10 colleges that can churn out 10,000 students every year, because that's the gap, that's the requirement. Assam itself needs so many people across the level for healthcare.
See, number of medical colleges have increased. Now 13 plus, I think. 14.
14, yeah.
ESIC also has become a teaching hospital. So now we have 14. When I passed, there were 3. So it's increasing, but still the patient to doctor to patient ratio is still less. All India, I think it's one doctor to 811 patient. That is good, but that is all India. But in rural setup is still less only. One doctor is catering 11,000 or 13,000 patients.
Yeah.
So while developing medical health care, if we are only, dedicating ourselves to the tertiary care, which is, not accessible to most of the people, then it's not going to improve. We have to simultaneously improve the primary and the secondary care also. So the development of the community health centers is important. If, say, dedicated specialist is not there, using AI to, help that, it's important, because physically doctor may not be present there, but a trained AI, personally, if it is there and patients are doing telemedicine, then definitely we can cater. So we have to improve the health sector in a way that we cater to all patients.
True, because I know through Ayushman Bharat and also Assam's own state scheme, there are a lot of people who are covered under a certain level of insurance. So somewhere healthcare becomes affordable. The question that we are trying to access or address is, can healthcare become more, one, accessible? And can we also provide for more healthcare specialists? How do I build brand Assam as the medical hub of Bharat? How do I build the state of Assam or brand Assam as a place where people will say, hey, if I go here, I'll get first-class professionals, I'll get great care, it'll be affordable, and there is no dearth of qualified people to give me the best care that I want across. How far are we from achieving something like that? Dr. Devji Chaudhary.
See, we must thank the government of Assam for creating a network of very well planned. I'll say it's very well planned because the new hospitals are very well planned as per the hospital, as a good hospital should be. And we have got this rich and talented pool of specialists. As Rupam was talking about the tertiary care level, I'm talking about the metro cities that we are having. So in those hospitals, we have well-planned hospitals, talented pool. Now talking about how to attract people. So there was this government initiative of making it into a medical tourism hub. And a lot of progress was made in that direction. But somehow because of the political situations in our neighboring areas, I think that has taken a backseat now, but it is always there. Political instabilities are not permanent. They can be taken care of. So we are hopeful that these considerations will be taken into account by our departments concerned with it, by our external affairs department or whoever is looking after it. So we have that proposal of the medical tourism hub. We have got in the cancer setup the maximum development can be seen in the cancer hospital network system. So that was the plan there. Then secondly, as I said about the proton, if we have the nearest proton is in Singapore. The nearest proton is in Singapore. So we can have this huge hinterland of patients coming into India. Thirdly, now with people-to-people contact becoming more, so we can have a good relation with the hospitals there, tie-ups to showcase our talent, our possibilities there, and we can attract the patients. Fourthly, about the nursing care that we have told. See, we have in the government setup, we already have a tie-up with the government of Japan and with Singapore for nursing care students being incorporated into the health systems. After passing out, they are given a course of Japanese language or in Singapore. So that is one of the initiatives, and that is being also taken care of by an agency known as the JICA, Japan Industrial Corporation.
So steps are being taken in the right direction, but I think we need to start galloping. That's what we need to do. Gentlemen, we've run out of time for this session, but it's a good starter. It's a good conversation starter, and I hope we can pick this up further and take this conversation forward. But for the moment, we'll have to move on. I thank you all. Thank you all for making the time and joining us here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just a small token which we'd like to present to you. Thank you. Please be a little more generous with your applause. They've made some very valuable contributions. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we're going to get a move on, and let's talk about the world of women empowerment, the land that is blessed by Ma Kamakhya, where the society itself was largely matriarchal and women drove society. It's all here in this part. So I'm going to hand it over to Pallavi to take this forward. Please welcome her, ladies and gentlemen.
So while I wait for our guests to join us, if you look at the latest figures, 48% women in Assam, and I think it's a little bit more than that across India. And in an ideal situation, I know we are going to overtake men in terms of numbers, as we have in many other fields as well. And you know, today the focus is going to be on every one of these women who have broken the glass ceiling. And there are important schemes. In fact, I'm just going to go through some of them while we wait for my guests to join me this afternoon. The Assamese government, in fact, the Chief Minister, Hemanta Biswa Sarma himself, has focused on women empowerment. And it's not in nature of doles or freebies, it's in nature of incentives which have been given to them so that, you know, first of all, they are not under pressure because of any social norms. They get the money to, you know, kind of catch their dreams. A couple of schemes which I can quickly talk about is the Arunodaya scheme, which gives money directly into accounts of women, something which the Prime Minister also has been focusing on across the country. That's really been a winner. Then there's a Mukhyamantri Mohila Udyamita Abhiyan, which also talks about the micro enterprises where women are given money to start their startups. We're going to talk about that again extensively. There's a Nijut Moina scheme, and this is very interesting because this is helping women to, you know, kind of protect themselves from early marriages or premature dropouts. And of course, there is a Lokpati Vaidyo scheme also, and all these schemes have been announced by the Assamese government, and this is going to be, and this has been a big winner. So it's going to be over to the ladies. I'm going to do a quick introduction to all of you, and thank you very much. Because when I see you all, I feel and I know that yes, we can. Okay, so thank you very much. I would actually change the format. I would prefer if you all introduce yourself and tell us what we women are all about. Go ahead. Yeah, it's all.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Rima Das, and I make movies.
Bulbul can sing. You guys must have watched it. My favorite, of course, is Bulbul can sing.
Thank you.
It's also a story of empowerment. Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tina Latifa Masood, and I'm a leadership trainer and happiness coach. And I've got an academy which is called #I'm the Best Leadership Academy.
It's on, I think.
A very good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Dr. Parveen Islam. I'm an assistant professor of law working at NEF Law College, Guwahati, and I'm very glad to be a part of this session today. Hope you all enjoy it too.
Good afternoon, everyone. Namaskar. My name is Drishti Medhi. I'm an entrepreneur using technology to empower women.
Namaskar, I'm Runa Rafiq. I work both in the profit and not-for-profit sectors to advance women in agriculture. Myself, I am a farmer as well.
And you just have to Google her to know how many controversies, and we'll talk about that a little later. But I'm going to start with you, Rima, because I was watching Bulbul, and I saw it a long time back, not because I'm coming here, but Bulbul Can Sing, especially, is little dark, little grim, but it also tells the story of adolescents breaking those kind of barriers, but also about women, how they're coming of age and how they come under pressure from home. It begins at home. You think the struggle for a woman, without sounding too feminist about it, actually begins from home. I mean, how do you convince the men and even the women in the family that we have a right to chase our dreams?
That is what we need to do through our art and through our work, whatever we do. Actually, when as a woman we achieve something, sometimes we are privileged to do what we love. And then I think responsibility is how to reach out to villages, especially underprivileged, underrepresented sections, and create awareness. And I love to make movies. I think that's quite a powerful visual medium. And you can make people laugh, you can make people feel, you can make people angry also, and sad also, cry. So Bulbul can sing, yes, I know that right now Village Roxas 2, my recent films, is running in the theatre. And there also in every film, because I also grew up in village, so I see how patriarchy is rooted, in our society. But also I have realized that we need men, in our journey. I am not that person to, I don't have that bitterness, because if I have bitterness for men, or women, then I cannot contribute positively. So Bulbul can sing is, I can see like how in the family girls suffer, because, and that's what I observed is, it is lot of the times it is unknowingly it's happening. Without knowing, if you have seen that also there is a character in the village, he has that, feminine
those
in
traits,
his, yes. So how most of the people in the village, they just call him ladies. And it's so normal, we normalize it, sometimes without knowing that we are hurting that person. So bringing these stories through our cinema, I think that is what I love to do. And also taking it as like cinema is not always to entertain. So we need to also document art, culture and the lifestyle. I think that is what we need there, because if we look back history, our memories, and that is what in the institution also we study. So if we only make, entertainment movies just to entertain, I think that's not enough. And in that journey, we need people, we need support, because sometimes the kind of movies we make, we don't get that kind of visibility and support, and day by day it is more difficult. And that is the reason this time, because this Village Roxas 2, this film which is running in the theatre, I'm again saying, because I want people to watch it, because it's a tribute to my people, land and trees, rivers, you can say, and the dreams of the talented, our young people who are having that economic, problems, like they need to manage a lot of things because of their how they face the economic problems in the families. So in that journey, I'm more now focusing creating impact, and more also reaching out to people for impact screenings. And like in the earlier conversation session, Mr. Hitesh Borua, so he is yesterday he brought more than 100 people to theaters from name care. So that kind of impact, because we want and we need to start a conversation. That is the need of the hour, I think. Thank you.
And in all of that, like your line when you said that we need men, this whole concept of a woman has to be agnostic or anti-men, that's not what we want. The change has to come in the kind of cliche thinking. So, I was looking at some of the figures, though things are improving definitely, because the Chief Minister himself has been putting a lot of focus on this, of crime against women. And that's where this whole talk about social empowerment, economic empowerment, political empowerment also come in. I'm told in Assam the political empowerment bit is slowly needs to rise even more. But in terms of empowerment, social, economic, political empowerment, how much do you think that needs to go hand in hand, as much as education, of course?
Yes, since I'm an educator, I would like to tell you that this was in 2009 when I actually wanted to commit suicide. So how did my concept, I'm the best, come about? Is because I wanted to commit suicide. And that's when one of my friends said that you cannot obliterate yourself. You are the best. And that is when I realized, Pallavi, that there are many people like me who would actually need a person who would motivate them to live on. You can't obliterate a beautiful life. And that is where I come in as an educator, as a leadership trainer. And when you are talking about so many other things about how this can happen, like if I may speak to the audience as a leadership trainer, what we need right now, what the country needs right now, and what I'm on a mission right now, is to touch the lives of 5 lakh people, as of now, 5 lakh people, and motivate them, convert them into fearless, focused future leaders for the country. Because the country needs the leaders right now. I have been associated with Viksit Bharat, Youth Parliament, Viksit Bharat, young leaders, speakers, and these people, I have been motivating them, mentoring them, judging them, and they've been sent to Honorable Prime Minister to speak in front of him. So when I look at them, I see that there are certain things which are lacking. Like yesterday, I was at the Assam State Assembly, and I met these wonderful young people. For 2 days, I've been meeting them, and each one of them, what they had done was, they were all using ChatGPT to go and speak what they have to speak. The topic was, how can the budget 2026 help the young people in 2047? So it was a very, very scripted, all of them had very scripted ways of speaking, which I think they should not do. A research-based speech would have been so much better. There were some of them, of course, 10% of them did speak like that. What we need in Assam right now is our young people who are going to do research-based studies, not just anything. Like just now when we were talking about cancer patients, my thought was that we have 34,000 cancer patients, but what are we doing as researchers to find out why do we have that cancer at all? Why do we need to have cancer at all? So if we are not doing a research-based study, so these young people can actually take up. And what are the flaws I see in these young people is that they depend too much on technology now. Everything is, they say, okay, we will just get into technology and do it. For us, it was different. We grew up when the dinosaurs were there. And if you remember, Pallavi, when we were doing, we had to find out the meaning of one word, and it was like we had to go to the thesaurus. We had to go and struggle for 1.5 hours to find out what's the meaning, how it's pronounced. But here we have the world open for young people. But they are not taking advantage of that. What they are doing is more getting into other things, like maybe scrolling through reels. Yesterday when I was talking to them, I said, what is the morning routine you have? They don't have a morning routine. So when I look at them, when I look at young people as a leadership trainer, I see a whole lot of potential, but the potential is being wasted. Young people are whiling away their time doing things which are not important for their life. But if the same potential, if this is used for the country, believe me, Pallavi, that 5 trillion economy that we are looking at, we are going to go down at breakneck speed.
And I think women tend to become better students and faster students.
Yes, I think that's true, because I'm sitting with,
not because I'm sitting with, you need empowered women, definitely.
And it starts from the home.
It starts from the home. Absolutely.
It starts from the home. If I'm not reading, my son is not going to be reading at all. If I'm going to be scrolling through reels, then my son is also going to be doing the same thing. He's never going to do anything productive. So it starts from the home. How are we going to make the homes more empowered? That is what we should be looking at. If we are looking at a country which is going to be led by leaders, and I want to put this into the heads of every young child, that you cannot afford to waste your time. Even if their mothers are not saying that, I can be the mother for every child, and I can do that.
Absolutely.
The system is designed like that you waste your time. It is designed, actually, I think. So we need to create more awareness, and we need to reach out and,
Yes, exactly. I agree with Rima, and that is where I come in. And let me just quickly give you an example before I forget, because I'll tend to forget this. I was training a group of nurses for 3 months. This is just a diploma course they had.
And I encouraged them, I inspired them, I visualized this dream into them that you could do much better than what you're doing right now. And they're from a very poor background. Once they completed their classes, you know what they told me, Pallavi? That today, ma'am, we're going to give you a gift. The gift is that you've always inspired us, and today we promise you that the 6 of us are going to give our competitive exams, the APSC exams, the ACS exams, and they've formed a group which says Ma'am's ACS officers, and one of them for sure is going to come through, and that day will be my success story.
And the best gift possible.
Yes.
So, let's get a little personal about our experiences. So when you thought of breaking the glass ceiling, or when you see people around you trying to break the glass ceiling, how really has it been difficult, and how is it now changing? I mean, when I just began speaking over here, I was talking about the multiple schemes, for example, coming out with the Assam government. One should not look at them from the prism of, their elections, there's politics behind it. It actually has changed for many people on the ground. What has been your personal experience of challenge and the changes on the ground?
The government has definitely taken proactive steps towards bringing this strata, the women's strata of the community, to a level playing field. But my personal opinion is that when we see it from the angle of providing, under schemes we are providing some kind of facilities to the women, as we can see under the MMUA, a particular scheme where recently the Chief Minister is also providing 10,000 rupees to almost 40 lakh women, whereby his idea is to make them lakpati. But my question that I would like to ask here is, what about the accountability of this amount that has been going, whether it is actually being utilized by the women for the purpose for which it has been given or not? As it has been promised that in one particular year, 10,000, second year, 25,000, third year it will raise up to 50,000. But whether it has been utilized for that purpose, and whether this 10,000, 25,000, 50,000 actually will suffice the cause of making one independent in this journey, when we are in an era whereby self-sufficiency has become a question. We are all struggling, where job opportunities are so less, where the market has become so competitive. Whether this amount will give us this opportunity to break the ceiling actually or not is a question to analyze, I suppose. But yes, the very fact that women has come up breaking these ceilings and breaking the stereotypes that has always been prevalent in our society is a commendable step that has been taken, encouraged by the government, encouraged by the social structure, encouraged, as ma'am has just now said, it starts from the family, being encouraged from the family side as well. And at a personal level, if I say it, when we see it from a religious angle, from the point of view of the Muslim community, we do see, but we as Muslims, we are still longer way to go because of many stereotypes. Because I would not hesitate saying it here that the Muslim community is a little infamous worldwide, globally, because of two things: marriage and divorce.
But triple talaq, you think that was one big step ahead? Because I remember we were all covering it when we were in Parliament, and we saw the kind of intense reaction which came in from many of the men who said, you're meddling into our personal affairs. But no one at that point of time among them was actually talking about the fact that how the wives, the daughters, they're going to get a life. I mean, they have a right to choose their life. So you think triple talaq is one big stride ahead?
Definitely, yes. If we see it from the religious text perspective, triple talaq, which is commonly said to be talaq-e-bidat, is not advisable or recognizable even in the Quranic verses. It has been later on implemented by some school of thoughts. Ahsan and Hasan form of talaq was the one which is recognizable. So when a woman's right is so very mechanically contractualized, as we know that Islamic marriages are a contract, you cannot mechanize a particular marriage on the basis of contract, because this essence of a contractual marriage has this essence of emotion involved in it. And if we go to the case, if we analyze this case of Shahbanu case, we come to know, I have personally this opinion with holding with to me, that what this, if it is a contract, where this contract starts and where it ends. Does merely performance of this marriage is fulfillment of the contract, or does it has a deeper meaning to it that you have to keep performing it throughout your life? To my understanding, it doesn't end merely by performing. This is what has the Supreme Court also said, that merely performance is not coming to bringing you to a fulfillment of a contractual obligation. As part of a marriage, you have to continue doing it, perform it. And Quranic verses also states the same. Very recently also, in 2026, February, this last month, another case law has come up whereby Supreme Court has again talked about Talaq Hasan, whereby a woman has been divorced by way of WhatsApp text, and then later on legal notice has been sent through an advocate. And she raised this question that whether this mode of divorce, whether these modes of divorce are actually bringing her to this particular point where she can presume that yes, talaq has actually been given to her, because it happened that he did not pronounce it physically or face to face. He happened to do it through WhatsApp twice and through by sending a legal notice through an advocate. 3 times at different stages. In 3 months, this particular thing has been performed, and she presumed that her marriage has been dissolved. Later on, she remarried again as Quran allows that, and now her husband got offended because of that how come she married. For which this particular case has been filed, and the Supreme Court has then again analyzed that there should be some kind of conformity, uniformity in terms of talaq, for which I personally feel, being into the area of law, that uniform civil code should actually be implemented in order to erase these confusions that are prevalent. If we talk about Assam has definitely taken a very proactive step in terms of curbing this. But from legal angle, technicalities are there. First technicality is one state law is going to override 2 central laws, which as per article, I'm going a little more mechanical in terms of law, but as per article 254, it cannot be done without the consent of the president. So this particular enactment of recently done, that is 2024, relating to compulsory registration of marriages in Assam and divorces, and the Qazi system been abolished, that this is still pending, and some kind of debates are going on the validity of the particular enactment. However, at the personal level, I do feel that it has, and data is also there, almost 89% child marriages has been curbed to a greater extent. Then it is a proactive step definitely, and in future we will see more progress.
We've spoken about social empowerment, we've talked about political, economic empowerment, but just to speak, because you're an entrepreneur yourself, you know, I know that government schemes, but there's so much you can do if you're not able to change the mindset at a workplace. Did you find resistance when, you know, people say, oh, can she do it? She's young, she's a mahila, she's a woman, she can't do it. Someone must be backing her, some male must be backing her. This sense, you know, that she must be doing it and she's successful because there's clearly a man behind it, and a man, of course, needs to support us, and we would love their support. But when they say there's a man behind her success, the insinuation often is that she's got no brains of her own or entrepreneurial skills of her own. Yeah.
Pallavi, first of all, thank you. You've actually asked me my most favorite question. Okay. People who know me personally and even who follow me on social media know how much I particularly speak about women empowerment. But that is a very, very broader term. First of all, I think I should acknowledge the privilege that I have today to be sharing the stage with such wonderful women that I have had the pleasure to learn from, read about, and get inspired on a daily basis. And before I answer your question, which I want to be very specific about, I would like to touch upon everything that the previous panelists have already mentioned Rimaba had mentioned one thing very important about narrative. Why in her industry of entertainment, why she uses her media to actually educate people and create that awareness. And Pinatba also spoke about youth in civic engagement. But when you told me about, that resistance from society or perhaps from people that if I'm able to do something, if there is a man backing me, or rather, there would not be traits related to my intellectual capacity or my actual skills that helps build, shape a business. Because in order to build a business, it's not just that you start with the monetary requirement or the initial capital, but a lot of work goes in there as well. And I think the most important thing that I have to highlight when I'm here today is I come from a family of businessmen. I've never told myself as a third generation entrepreneur. Technically I am. I've always referred myself to as an entrepreneur, as a first gen, because everything that I have built along with my elder brother has been that we have done on our own. However, I started my journey straight out of college in my third year of engineering, and I run my venture across skill development and now in agriculture, working very closely with grassroots women across Assam and across Northeast as well. In order to answer your question, there has been instances several times, and now it's been almost technically 6 years of me working in the ecosystem. I've had the privilege of being, representing our state, either could be on a regional, national, as well as international level. Recently, when I was in Davos this year, every year Davos has a theme, right, at the World Economic Forum, and this time when we had the theme of spirit of dialogue, the main important part is how do you ensure that whatever dialogue happens, all of these different multi-level stakeholders actually come into the picture and you're able to have that transparent conversation. And in order to have that sort of dialogue being translated into a place like Assam or Northeast, which is often overlooked, sure, we have been matriarchal as a society, but even when you talk about business, even when you talk about as a young woman, the community that I represent myself, I don't think we still have the privilege of, getting known for our intellectual capability, because I have been subjected to those questions on the daily till now. And I think that is why it is so important to build the narrative the correct way and also ensure that how do we translate that narrative into the wider audience and have that immediate role model around us.
Yeah, I can tell you my early years of journalism. So there are days when I was able to break a story or do a story, they would tell me, oh, she can do it because, she's a woman, unko de diya hoga. The day I did not manage to do a good story, they would say, see, she's a woman and she can't do it. So damn if you do and damn if you don't, and today no one can dare say that to me. So I think that's also something which is changing. We are running out of time, but I want to come to you, Ruma, because you've been involved in so many controversies because of the profession you chose. The entrepreneurship you showed, you began a piggery, and then of course you've moved on to chicken farming, is what you just told me a short while back. And also from the community you come in from, that resistance, that questioning of you. Did that ever make you feel in one particular moment, have I made a mistake? Or did that convince you and embolden you more to say, no, I'm absolutely right and I'll do what I want to do?
Yes. So in 2018, I decided that what Assam needs is farming and agriculture. We need to strengthen the agriculture in Assam. That's when I left my corporate job in an international organization and came to agriculture, because during this time I had seen the land, the people, the greenery, the water, and people giving up farming in Assam. And that was a very big, it was kind of a purpose that I chose to be in agriculture. I first chose piggery. Now, I'm Runa Rafiq, and I chose piggery. But sometimes ignorance is bliss. I grew up in an Upper Assam family in Assam, a Muslim family in Upper Assam, where religion was a very, very private affair. We were not encouraged to speak or discuss people's religions. So I grew up in a manner that religion was the last important thing in life, and I am married also to a Hindu person. So, when I chose piggery much later in life, after a lot of age has passed, at 40 I decided I want to be in agriculture. And the first thing I chose was piggery, because piggery seemed to be a very golden and sunrise sector in Assam. So economically it made a lot of sense, and I wanted to set up a model, to say that yes, this is something we and the youth of Northeast can go into. So I took a loan, I started the work of construction of a big pigsty, and when it was completed, it suddenly came to my mind, I am a woman and I am a Muslim woman. It was, pointed out to me, and that's how it came to my mind. But then it was too late, and also the family, panelists here have spoken about patriarchy, about women leadership, about laws, about being women in sectors which are dominated by men. It always happens. But the way forward is the way forward, to not think of these things. And sometimes, as I say, I always believe ignorance is sometimes bliss. And to be ignorant of these things. Yes, I am a woman, but there is more power in me. This is how I see it. If I am a woman, I am a better farmer, because I am a woman, I have been a mother. And to have a piggery breeding farm, I felt I did a better job of raising pigs, because I have myself been a mother. And when I have to see to pigs giving birth and taking care of the piglets, I think I did a much better job than any man would do. Of course, the sector is full of men. Pig farmers are mostly men and they stink, but you have to be with them, and then you have to take advantage of your situation, I think life is all about taking advantage of our situations. We belong to a land of Kamaika, We are women, and women power is worshipped in our land. And why not, go with that? Why look at the dark sides, So yes, there has been problems. People have pointed out to me. My relatives stopped talking to me. I stopped getting invitations to family functions, which I realized were happening because of my piggery farm. Actually, at a point came when I lost my piggery farm to disease. That's when I started getting invitations again. It's then that I understood, this is the reason they were not inviting me. But it doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter.
I think it is very important to set up role models in society, to say that what matters most to women is economic and financial freedom. And I think this is the sector we should focus on. I want to bring more focus to women in agriculture. This year, UN has also declared it as the International Year of Women Women in Farming. And I want to bring a lot of focus to that. I want a farming sector to do well. And I especially want the women farmers to do well in Assam, because I see that as the most important and a very good way to take the state forward. And I think the government is also helping in that. I do think the government is helping in that, but I think there can be more focus. She pointed out rightly, women are getting money, but what is the money being used for? Are things we need to take intensive look into. We need to build more institutions around women in the state, and I think that will set us on a good way.
I like what you say as we wind up, that we should take advantage of the situation and not buckle under any kind of pressure. You come in from the land of Kamakhya, I am from Bengal, I come in from the land of Ma Durga, and that's what we women are. We kind of epitomize strength, at the same time resisting and breaking down the barriers. Thank you very much. I can go on talking to you, but we have a constraint of time. But thank you so much to all my co-panelists for joining us this afternoon. But there's a little token of appreciation and from our side, from CNN-News18.
You know, you also forgot to mention that we are the only network that celebrate women with Future Female Forward and She Shakti. So that's also something which we do. Thank you. That was a lovely session. Yes. Thank you so much. Right. Next is about industry, investment, IT. What's going to happen? Can Assam become, it's attracting investments from across the country. Can it not only become the medical hub, can it also become the investment hub? Which are the sectors, which are the aspects where we can drive, especially with MSMEs? Can we become, what can we do in the state of Assam? Let's get our panelists up next and dive into the conversation. Joydeep Gupta, please come up on stage, sir, as I call out your name. Is an entrepreneur, strategic leader with over 2 decades of experience in IT infrastructure, cybersecurity, tourism and social development. Joydeep ji. We also have Mr. Navneet Bora, financial expert with over 30 years of experience in the stock market, banking and consultancy sectors in Assam. Trikalgya Rabha, Senior Indian Railway Personnel Service IRPS officer who served as the Principal Chief Personnel Officer, PCPO of the Northeast Frontier Railway. He is with us. He's taken over this role after previously serving as the Chairman of the Railway Recruitment Board, RRB Secunderabad. Thank you. Mr. PVSLN Murthy, Chairman and Managing Director, CMD of the Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited, NEDFI. Mr. Murthy, thank you so much. With over 40 years of experience in banking, including as a CGM and Chief Strategy Officer at SBI, he drives NEDFI's focus on financing MSMEs, infrastructure and startups in Northeast Bharat, Northeast India. So he's not the money bags, but he's the one who's got the bags of money, Mr. Murthy, in terms of investment. And Dibya Sankar Bhattacharya, retired Colonel of the Indian Army and currently a practicing advocate in the Guwahati High Court, handling civil, criminal, service matters, writ petitions. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. Murthy, I'm going to start with you, sir. Because you're the one with the bags of money. You're the one who's going to give it out to the startups and the MSMEs. You are with the NEFDI. So I'm going to, NEDFI, sorry. So I'm going to ask you, which are the sectors which are attracting investments in Assam? And what more needs to be done? So please leave the mics as they are. They're on. The moment you start speaking, the audio will come.
Okay. Now is it?
Yes.
First of all, thank you very much. And Assam is now looking up. There is no any restriction. All, including pharma, we have opened up. And there are 2 types of incentives is there. One is from Government of India, another is from Assam State Government. So Assam State Government has come different kinds of schemes. One is large products schemes. If you are investing 100 crores and above, then 1-to-1 they will sit with the industry and then they will decide the incentives. It's not like one size fit all. It's not like that. So they are personally taking care, and NEDFI is the agency which vet the proposals. Second thing is tourism. Medical tourism and tea tourism. There are tea tourism. Government came forward with some incentives up to 2 crores subsidy if anybody establishes 5-star hotel within the tea garden. Earlier, the tea gardens were not at all to be touched. Now that has gone. Now we are asking them to. So first of its kind, it came in Tejpur. That postcard is managing that. It got international award also. That's a 5-star hotel within the TDC. Apart from this, every district, Assam government is developing the food parks. In that food parks, you can establish a factory and do the manufacturing and take the goods. You have to pay for this thing. So this is picking up. 12 food parks have already been activated. So that is one good step government is doing. Coming to startups. Startup ecosystem has been developed very well in Northeast, starting from 2017. First dedicated startup fund was started by me with 100 crores. And after that, oil companies are coming forward now. Along with NRN, we have established one startup fund, that is Angel Fund. And with Manipur government, this is another important, of course, you are Assam specific, but let me tell you, Manipur government has come forward and established a state specific fund along with NEDFI, that is around 30 crores. So startup ecosystem is government, Assam government also, along with SIDBI and NEDFI, they started one startup fund, dedicated fund, about 200 crores. So that is started investing. So lot of initiatives. Just now somebody was expressing the apprehension about Women Atmanirbhar scheme. It is the best scheme. No need to have any apprehension. I will tell you, because that scheme is me only. I jointly with the government of Assam, we created that scheme. Now what is happening, 68% of the women are dependent on the 68% of the weavers of the country are in Assam, and they are more on women. And when they are preparing the goods, when the cloth, etc., they have to sell for throwaway prices. Middlemen are exploiting them. This Atmanirbhar scheme will give them leeway to keep the kapda, that cloths, and sell it at the profitable lines. And second thing is, this is not the end of it. This is the first dose. If they run the unit for 12 months, and if they are successful, bank linkage will be there, another 1 lakh loan will be provided. So this scheme is best scheme. It is going to give going to be a game changer. And
sir, the schemes will be game changers only if they are one, A, implemented, and two, there are people who come back and avail of the schemes. One of the things is Assam was moving away from agriculture. Now that was a concern raised in the previous panel also. But Mr. Rabha, I'm going to ask you, in terms of until and unless the Northeast is connected, there is a hub and spoke model, there are freight corridors, there is a huge amount of horticulture which goes waste in all across Northeast because there is nothing to transport it in terms of connectivity. How critical is this aspect, and are we building connections? Are we much better off than we were a decade ago?
Absolutely. The very fact that you see the history of railways in the Northeast. The railways began in the Northeast on account of coal, tea and timber. Way back in the 1850s, almost simultaneously when we had the first train run in between Bombay and between Thane and that area over there. But unfortunately, what has happened is over the years, due to lack of outward, in railway terms, we call it outward, anything that originates from here. We do not have that much of freight that originates from this area that could go to the mainland, the so-called mainland. So unfortunately, this is a zone, the Northeast Frontier Railway, it starts at Katihar. The entire area receives inward goods, that is freight. But unfortunately, since we do not have that quality or that variety of freight, we do not find traffic that emerges from here and goes out. But having said that, as far as connectivity is concerned, we are a platform. that offers the best and most economic means of transportation for whatever we grow over here, whatever we produce over here. It may be difficult for us to carry it since the scale is minimal. So it may not work out economically. For example, now the railways have completely lost out on tea traffic because of various technological reasons, reasons of pilferage, etc. We have even lost out on POL, that is petroleum products. Petroleum is now being shipped through pipeline. The companies, the refineries, they find it more viable and much more safer to transport crude and they're produced through the pipeline rather than oil tankers. Now you come to think of it in a different way. Like now the thing is our focus, that's why all over Indian Railways is very, very region specific. We work to we do SWOT analysis and then we work according to our strengths and weaknesses, designed specifically for a particular region. Now if this region has a possibility of catering to a specific kind of passenger segment, then we would definitely welcome it. Like for example, people have spoken about tourism development over here. Almost 15-20 years ago, there was an idea floated by the NF Railway. We called it the 3R tourism, RRR, road, river and rail. We have railway networks over here which were constructed by the British. We have a major waterway in the shape of the Brahmaputra, and then we have the road network, obviously. If there could be a connect between these three modes of transportation, and if we have a niche tourism segment, we could perhaps welcome those kind of tourists over here. Tourists who need not only want to travel up or down the Brahmaputra. They would want to go up there, they would want to come to Kaziranga, then perhaps they would like to see our scenic hill section.
Yes.
Exactly.
No, you're very right. This RRR, even before the movie, you've thought about it here in terms of road, rail and river, but to integrate it and to make it happen. And I'll tell you why, sir, because I have traveled and it's tough. It's tough when the roads are not good. It's tough when there is no rail connectivity. For me to travel from Guwahati to Tezpur or from, when I was coming down from Tawang to Tezpur, from Arunachal, by road, I had to come because the chopper was not working. This was way back in 2012. It was a nightmare. It took 14 hours. And I had a bad back. That's a different story. And how we came down, we don't know. But why can't this be developed to ensure, say, students can come? If you're setting up 5-star hotels in Tezpur in a tea garden, how is somebody who comes to Guwahati going to reach there in a way that is memorable? The other part is, why not think of railways which will perhaps transport pineapple, which will transport produce and encourage agriculture and give incentives to people who are making produce and build connectivity? And why not build new railway lines or tracks for connectivity rather than use what was built in the 1850s or the 1900s?
What you say is absolutely correct. We would be very happy to have that kind of traffic emerging from here. We are looking for originating traffic. Over here today, perhaps we spend about 250 rupees to earn 100 rupees. That's because we do not have the originating traffic from here. Like you said, pineapple, agriculture produce like that. If we have it in volumes, perhaps it will be of benefit to even the producer. That's the only reason why perhaps, although we have the facility, we have the cargo hubs over here, why the producers are not forthcoming could be because of the tiny volumes which they have to offer.
Okay, so in terms of volumes, that's another thing which we can do. But Namit, if I may ask you, where do you think are we doing, Assam is doing technologically? Where is Assam going in terms of technology? Can there be a model which integrates AI technology with agriculture, with what is the core ability or produce or core industry of Assam? Is that possible?
As regards technology, the Northeast missed the IT bus long back, probably around 2000, 2001. And that time, Mr. Narayan Murthy has said, one of the reasons that IT didn't come to the Northeast was because of lack of 5-star hotels. And that made news. And the irony is today, in next 3 years, Guwahati will be having almost 15 5-star projects operational, but we still don't have the IT here. And probably IT is a bit passé as of now. And hence, the semiconductor industry is coming up in Jogighopat. That's probably giving more hope to the people, because with AI coming in, disrupting the IT employment situation very badly, and very negative news is coming out from the sector from all over the world. So in terms of IT, yes, Northeast missed the bus because a lot of factors were there, because of connectivity was a big issue then, and infra facilities, social facilities, and the distance, of course. We are about, how much, about 2,500 kilometers from Bangalore. So, but still, from here, there have been some people, some firms who stood out very well in certain niche IT sectors, like the person sitting right next to me.
I was about to go to him after this.
IT, and I know a friend of mine who's doing pretty good in IT, but that's in IT networking and hardware. In fact, he's got a big time work order from ONGC beating the rest of India. But then still it's far and few in between. So Northeast probably has a lot more scope in basic brick and mortar industries and brick and mortar activities. There's a lot of scope in there, because IT is more knowledge based, and the leaders of IT are hesitant to come so far. That's what we have seen in the last 25 years.
But distance is nothing today in today's world.
But then those people have a block. They have not come.
So how do we remove that block, Joydeep?
I was earlier working in Netfi in 2009 when it was a small organization. Sir has multiplied it very much in the last 6 years, I believe. And it's my privilege to be sharing the days with him. So that time also, 2001, 2, 3, 4, we tried a lot to bring the IT companies to the Northeast. Netfi had developed a Netfi IT park itself. But unfortunately, no one came, because these were the factors which were commonly, put forward.
You know what? How do we break this mindset, Joydeep? Because if a Google can come all the way from the US and set up in Bengaluru, and it can even, Microsoft can set up in Noida, there's no reason it cannot set up in Guwahati. And I'll tell you what, AQI in Guwahati is much better than it is in Delhi right now, or even in Mumbai. And traffic is also still more manageable in Guwahati compared to Bengaluru. So there is no reason why they can't come here. Why, what is this block?
Anand, welcome to Guwahati, land of Makamai and Srimanto Hongkordev. Actually, when we started business way back in 2002, business was very difficult in Assam and Northeast. We had lot of law and order issues. We had lot of pressure groups working here and there. Even getting a small trade license used to be a big bureaucratic issue for us, and it used to take a lot of time and money to get it. From there to where we have reached now, you see there is a quantum leap, and this is reflected in everybody's nature of talking. If you go to a small district industry center which is located in the district headquarters, you find them so welcoming, not only for Tatas or Ambanis or Adanis, even for a small entrepreneur like me. When I set up my resort in Povitara, the district industrial center was the first to come and ask whether you have got the subsidy, you can avail these additional subsidies, why don't you look at solar subsidies. So much welcoming to see them, and it is really ease of doing business in Assam now. Like, I think it should be one of the top 5 states in India where you can get all your permissions without visiting that office.
So ease of doing business is there.
Sorry?
Ease of starting up.
Ease of starting a business, ease of doing a business, and most important, because most of this requires government's this thing. We have a very, very friendly government infrastructure now helping us to basically set up business. Asking about IT basically, see what he has rightly said when Narayan Murthy ji came once and said we don't have adequate road infrastructure or 3-star or 5-star facilities. This is no longer there. But still there is a bottleneck even now, like Infosys has come in, TCS has been there for quite some time with us now. Things will be changing. Local entrepreneurs have started developing softwares where they are basically, they have picked up people up to 200, 300 people. Things are changing, and my friends, actually I am from IT, in Bangalore says ki Dada, in Assam says ki Amiu Ghuri Dam Buli Babisu, which means they also wants to come back and set up shops here. Actually this is the environment that has changed everything. The mood of the people is that Assam is basically taking a lot of initiatives in development of the business. Like in your starting remark, you have said when the national it is 25% stage, and we in Assam is 49. We have a very, very dynamic CM. He himself moves everything. He is not dependent on any bureaucrat or any machinery to look. He goes to the entrepreneur himself and asks. Day before yesterday in a cabinet, a 100 crore small 5-star hotel was coming up in Silchar. It is a cabinet initiative of giving him the same privilege which any larger enterprise gets. So that is what even a 20 crore business entrepreneur for a startup has the same advantage as what 20,000 crore will get. So this is the new Assam. I welcome all of you to Assam to start up shops here. I am a personal, like we all can volunteer, we all can help to see a new resurgent Assam.
No, very well said. But Colonel Saab, how are we going to integrate? See, we've got to identify in Assam what are the 4 or 5 pillars on which Assam will position itself as an industry and an, let's say, investment hub. One of them for me, although I'm not from here, but I've studied the state and I feel, is agriculture, which the state can do so much more. Somewhere we have to make the current generations and also the educated lot turn around and say, hey, agriculture is cool, agriculture is easy, and there's no income tax. So, so that's one part. So how do I do that? The other thing is, is there a scope for MSMEs here? What can be manufactured here to be supplied to industries or perhaps companies and manufacturing units across the country? 3, how do I make them feel that it takes more time for me to fly from Delhi to Bengaluru than it takes for me to fly from Delhi to Guwahati? But I'm not making those trips. So how do I do that?
First of all, I am hopeful about Assam. And the reason I am hopeful about Assam is because I feel that Assam is a powerhouse of potential. You would have conducted many town halls. But if you look at the audience in front of you, all young faces, these are the future of India. And that is why human resource is something which I think is the topmost and which is the most valuable resource in Assam. The second aspect is about governance. You know, you build infrastructures, you build good roads, yes, but good governance will build the future of our youth. And that is where I think at present we are in a period where we are having a good governance, where there is ease of business. Like what he rightly mentioned, there is an ease of business. And thirdly, coming to the aspects at which we can look for, I would say you had already brought out that agriculture can be one of the fields. The second field, of course, would be horticulture, because there is a lot of food products which can be built up. The third aspect would be tea tourism and also tourism to various different places. You know, we have got beautiful national parks like the Manas National Park, and the Kaziranga, of course, is very famous. So wildlife and tea tourism would be another aspect which I think would be. Then I also feel that, you know, IT is something which can be transplanted anywhere. And we have had a start with the semiconductor plant coming up here. So therefore, I think that would be another aspect. We are also looking at basically tie-ups with Taiwan, because that is the leading country as far as semiconductors is concerned. Taiwan, South Korea and Japan. And there are already language courses in Japanese which have started off in the Guwahati University. So that is another aspect which I think will lead us forward. The next aspect which I think should be, because the Northeast has got a lot of defense establishments out here. So this equipment, it has to be repaired at various different parts of the country. So I feel that there should be a defense industrial corridor out here which will look after both the maintenance and the repair of equipment. In addition, another aspect which can be looked into is construction of an industrial corridor like we have in, say, Karnataka, or we have around Noida in Uttar Pradesh. Now, these are things which can be done, because if you see, we have got tremendous potential, like I mentioned, about human resource. Now, if you look at the hydel power capacity, the Northeast has got 40% of India's hydel power capacity. And as on date, we have utilized only 2.1%. 40%, it can provide the electricity for entire India. And we are just utilized 2.1%. So that is another area which I think we can.
True. No, you know, since you talked about hydroelectric power, and that's also a big industry in itself. That's also a big opportunity in itself.
Yes.
But Murthy ji, final comment. We started with you, we'll end with you. How is it that you're going to, this human resource and this potential that you talked about, how is it that you're going to retain them in Assam? How is it that you're going to ensure that they don't go beyond Assam and look to Kolkata or to Bengaluru or to Hyderabad or to Delhi, Bombay, Noida, some other city, go out, migrate out of Assam? Because once you move out of Assam, it's very difficult to come back. So what's the plan? How is that going to be achieved? My final question.
Before I answer about human, this thing, continuation to him, the why people should come here is, here demand is available here, market is available here, and the resources are available here. Policy interventions are available here, incentives are available here. Only just come, plug in and do the business and sell it here itself. Because Northeast is a little away from the main market. I don't call as mainland and main market. So, but market is available here. We have only 20% meat requirement is available. 80% we want. Poultry we want. Piggery we want. So many other, even milk we want. But here itself you can manufacture, here itself you can sell, and neighboring countries, as you told. And as far as the human resources are concerned, I am telling you, given you 1/10 of what the normally a technical person earns, even if you give 1/10, my Northeast people will prefer to work here. Wherever they are in the world, they want to come and settle here. Example is here also. So many people, those who are IIMs, IITs, they don't want to go out of the Northeast. They want to be in the Northeast. So if you are a Northeast guy, you prefer to be in Northeast. So there is no depth of human resources. Definitely there is. And I am telling you, there are some excellent people who are from Northeast. They went to Bengaluru and they started startups which I invested, which was taken over by US company. That kind of a talent is available here.
Correct. That what I want them to do, sir, is to not go to Bengaluru, do the startups in Assam itself, in Guwahati itself. That's what I'm saying. That's where I think we should be. And you will invest here.
I am there to invest. I am there to invest.
Okay,
I am there to invest.
Well, we've run out of time, Joydeep. Okay, just one more minute. That's what I can pitch, because we are overrun into the next session.
And we have come out with a Assam Skill University, which is in Mogoldo, just about 1 hour away from here. And they are taking up specific skill set that is required in Assam or Northeast, like electronics development or IT infrastructure development, or whomsoever is interested in coming and setting up shops in Assam. This university is catering to their kind of knowledge base. So I am very, very hopeful that the resources that is required to start up any kind of industry in Assam, it can be fulfilled for our local resources, and government is ready with the infrastructure now.
Fantastic. There's so much positivity and so much hope, and let's hope that the next time we speak all together, we've got far many more, incentives and far many more steps that we've taken in the right direction for the state and its people. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you. Big round of applause for them, please. Thank you. Right, Pallavi, you're up next. The next two sessions are over to her.
All our special guests for this afternoon for the next session, which is going to be on AI. And joining me now this afternoon, of course, is Mr. Guwahati Talukdar. I'd like to invite you on stage. Hi, come. Then you can sit here. We'll start with you. I think your brother was also joining us. Is he? Ajay, he'll come later. Okay. So, yeah, sure, of course, come. Indranil. His brother Indranil Talukdar is also here. Can we? Yeah, please join us. Thank you. Big round of applause for all of them. We also have Mr. Firdaus Ahmed, who, thank you. The next on is Mr. Rachel Sarkar. And then, of course, Mr. Satyam Sharma. Thank you. Thank you to all of you for joining us this afternoon. So let's talk AI. Now, AI, ChatGPT, Grok, as many people know it loosely, is something which we cannot run away from. And Assam is the first state, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm told Assam is the first state which actually the Assamese government has created AI anchor called Ankita, which I think is the biggest acknowledgement of the fact that AI is going to be very much a part of the governance of the state. And in fact, I'm told that next time round onwards, every government office of Assam is also going to be using AI. I'm of course going to be talking about the big worry and apprehension which many people have about AI, that what is it going to do to our jobs. But I'm going to ask these two young, they love the offshore AI. Okay, so they started this. So basically, just briefly to tell our guests what exactly do you do? I mean, how did you get the idea? 2019. So you thought of AI way back then. So what does Accor AI actually do?
Hello. First of all, thank you so much for inviting us here. Myself, Kabyanil, and he's my elder brother, Indranil. And we have been developing our product called Accor AI from 2019. Accor AI is world's first speech-to-text application for the Assamese language. So I'm sure you have heard about speech-to-text for English, Hindi, and all the major languages. But for Assamese, we didn't have that technology. So back in 2019, when we were, started tinkering with the basics of AI, and we started learning how AI works and how to train AI models, we quickly realized that it is very much performant in English language. But compared to that, our regional languages such as Assamese, Bengali, Bodo, Rabha, Karbi, these languages, they perform very poorly. So we wanted to build something to empower our local languages through AI. That's how the idea of Accor AI came. So initially we developed a keyboard. Let's say it is, sometimes we take it very casually. When we type a text on a mobile phone, we do not think much how the technology works, how the language is getting input into the mobile phone or the computer. But behind the scenes, it is a whole different system. So it has been traditionally very difficult to write local languages in computers or mobile phones. So Assamese language is one such language where it is very difficult. It is a complex language where there is a lot of juktakars, that what do you call them. So we wanted to leverage AI and build a keyboard such that people can type in English. Let's say I want to write Okhom. So I can type ASSAM, exactly like how we write in English language. and the AI will understand the input and it will automatically convert to our local language. So that's how we started Akhor AI as a keyboard tool. Then we quickly realized, and we talked to our users, and they said that they wanted something where they need not type even. They, people nowadays are very busy. They do not have time to write, and there are situations where people want to write while they are driving as well. So how do they write while they are driving? So they wanted a way to input voice and convert it to text. So that's how we extended our product later to speech to text. And we quickly realized that while the other major languages had this technology already, our own language, Assamese, and including all the regional languages from Northeast, did not have the technology. So we started researching about how to develop that. And we came up with Akhor AI voice typing, which is currently world's first speech to text application. And it also works offline, so you do not need an internet connection even. So that is very much useful when you are, let's say you are in a remote area and you do not have fast internet. So the model that we have developed, it is hosted on the device. So you do not need to have an internet connection and send a query to ChatGPT servers, get a response and show it to the user. The AI is hosted on the device itself. So you do not need an internet connection to interact with the AI. So that is the brief idea of Akhor AI. And after that, we incorporated more features such as generative AI. Let's say you voice type something, then you want to convert it to formal language. You can tap a button and it automatically converts to.
It's now available on Play Store and all our phones also.
Yes, exactly.
So you thought of this in 2019, and in 2019, AI was not such a big thing in India yet. But why do you think of it way back in 2019? Were you reading the writing on the wall and you felt that this is something which is going to become big? And AI largely has been concentrated on English, Hindi, as you correctly pointed out. A vernacular language is something which no one really much thought about. I think Assam is the first.
First of all, thank you CNN-News18 group for inviting us here. We started working on the Akhor AI project from 2019. So at that time, I was writing articles for newspapers and some magazines related to technology, but the writing tools were not so advanced. So I had the problem of writing in both mobile devices and the computers. So at that time also, I was learning artificial intelligence, and so I thought about solving my own problem at first. So at that time, I started building the desktop keyboard application for fast typing in our own language, Assamese. So at first, we developed it for a web-based, for the web browsers, and then after our typing tool become very popular in Assam, we then developed the speech to text AI application. So now our application is becoming more and more popular. Now we have crossed 24,000 users and we have users from different countries also. So as an entrepreneur, I started solving the problems that exist in the real world.
They say what's also boon can also be a curse. I would not want to use the word curse, but there's an apprehension, there's a fear factor. And that is, one of our panelists earlier was talking about the fact that very often AI becomes a shortcut by young people specifically. How does one ensure that that doesn't happen? How does we ensure that AI does not become a substitute for a knowledge, yeah.
Okay, so AI is the happening of the hour, and like every technology, it has its both sides. Some people will be taking shortcut, but one thing is that we will have to make awareness Now, Pallavi, if I'm allowed, I want to go back a little bit and, to the IT industry in this, in the previous session we have discussed about industry, and I take a cue from there. This region has missed the bus of IT industry. If we look at and why I'm going to IT industry, AI is nothing but an extension of IT industry. And if we look at states with similar, set of population, similar population numbers, right? The nearest, Assam earns around 40 crore from the IT exports, and the nearest other state earns around 500 to 700 crore. And I'm not talking about, Karnataka or Telangana. It's about, Jharkhand and other states. So that way, now we should not miss the bus of AI revolution that is happening. Now those shortcuts, when people are aware, they will not. It's a temporary happening. But what we need to focus for Assam is that how can we have how can we reap the benefit of AI revolution? How can we bring investment, and how can we nurture our startups from this region?
Also, there may be a large, is there a kind of, I would say, encouragement for AI from the government side? Also a bait to ensure that the younger people, the young people like whom have understood and began early what AI can bring. Is it also a bait and an incentive, I would use, that's a better word to use, incentive to the young people of Assam that stay here because you really do have a bright future ahead, and AI can actually become a throbbing industry?
Yeah. Good afternoon. So thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me in this panel. Very good question, ma'am. Yeah. First of all, thing is that so many people, so many employees to Google, Microsoft, the Assamese people are there. They are working there. So many people are employed out there. But the question is that, as before this panelist, so many people have told that about the startup, about the women empowerment, about the medicals and all. Now, what about the awareness? How they will get award? One person has told that one like a BD, if somebody, the middle people, they used to get that one and all. But how that person or how that farmer will come to know that what is the cost of that product, that the awareness is required. Nowadays, that awareness can be done only through the technologies. That is through that, it may be in the form of that apps, or it may be in the form of the Google form, anything through the technologies. And for that, the government, they have to, they have already come up, our Assam government, they have already come up with so many projects and all for the flood and for the agriculture and all. But we are lagging behind rather than Bangalore, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. We are lagging behind of that. Just as you have asked me, just I will give you that one example. Just recently, as I am working as a professor to my college, to Royal Global University, near about 200 projects we have submitted to ASTEC. Near about 200 projects for the startup one. So yesterday we came to know that project money for that for that AI technical technologies, they have given only 80 lakhs. And so many crores of money has been given to so many startup companies, these, that, and all, so many things. It's very good. Government is encouraging them. But when we will come, when the technology will come, definitely all the things can come if the technology will increase. Now today if you say that one about the Bangalore, about that one Tamil Nadu and all, why? How they have come focus. We came to know that, okay, if you have any problem in any subject, we can get a subject knowledge through that faculty maybe in the US, in the Oxford faculty. How? Through the technology. That technology importance has to be given to us. Yes, it's giving, but as I feel means, as the computer science and engineering people, it has to come little bit more. It has to come so that the young generation people, they will develop more, they will do their things more and better. See, thing is that it's not based on that engineering and all, as I am saying that. It is not like that you have to be an engineer, then only you can be signing the technology and all. No, it's not like that. You can be of anything. You can be a normal graduation also. That normal graduation person who has started a startup company. After starting the startup company, that product has been developed. Now, that person don't know what to do. That person has to focus that, yes, this is my product. Okay, let it be through the Amazon, through the e-commerce company, or through some other thing. That person should have to know that that person should give that fund for the technology also, so that that product should be commercialized. So many patents we used to do in our university, in that one in Northeast, so many university, the patent we used to do, those patents we have to commercialize. So it's a very common thing, ma'am, as you are from the West Bengal, it's a very common thing, the human psychology people. If one product will come from the West Bengal and one product will come from the Assam, yes, you will definitely do the comparative of that. But with that, there is some human sensible things, definitely. Yeah, one of my product from the Bengal, it has come. Let me give little bit, at least 0.5% importance. So what I mean to say, so many startup people like this, our younger brothers and all, they have done the startup company and all. They want to do the commercialize. They want to sign their life. For that, our government peoples, or they have to give more and more importance to the technology also.
See, I can say this. I remember we were asking this question to the central government. Mr. Sharma, I'm asking you this, is about whether AI is going to take away the jobs. The government at that point of time told us that we are going to expect most of the companies who go in for AI to also ensure that there's not going to be massive job losses, because some things cannot be replaced by AI. I mean, you know, I'm not going to do a surgery or a doctor or something like that. But this fear factor, when computers first began in our country, people said, oh, people are going to lose their jobs, but you don't see that happening. It's actually aided the workforce. You think this fear of AI is needless or it's natural, and can a balancing act be found?
Thank you, Pallavi, for this opportunity. In today's context, globally, innovation and technology are separated by a very thin line, and that line is diminishing as we move on year. And in this diminishing line, AI has made a jump start and disrupted the entire ecosystem in both ways, good as well as bad. As there are deliberations going on across the world on the usage and misuse of AI, there are also apprehensions, as you rightly said, that would it lead to job losses. In the context of Assam, if I say, we have lost out on the Industry 1.0, Industry 2.0, and for that matter, Industry 3.0, for our vested reasons, whatever it is. But luckily, we are at the epicenter of Industry 4.0, where we would be finding ourselves at the crossroads of a global supply chain as far as blue chip and semiconductor technology is concerned. Now, having said that, we would be seeing a requirement of more than 10 of thousands of manpower, both blue-collared and white-collared, in this very soil of Assam. And majority of that would have some or the other intervention of AI skills. So I would contradict to the statement that you have said. It is a way of creating more jobs. You know, so when you have the first computers, as you rightly said, there was an apprehension that computers would end up making job losses, but it was the other way around. There was a boom in the IT industry, both in the Silicon Valley and then in India. And we have been eyewitness to how it has impacted the industrial revolution in India. So I personally feel it would be other way around. It would be an avenue of creating more smarter workforce for the state as well as the country.
And he's a living example, both of them are, of how AI actually can be, the way to go. Before I wind up, one last question to you. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So, that my friend has told whatever that one. Let me tell you one thing, ma'am. This is a very hot cake topics actually. Will the AI will take the job of the human beings and all? In one sense, we can say that, yes. How it is yes? See, who has developed AI? With the human beings. AI has not developed by any other machines. We have made the machine intelligence that is developed by the developer, the human beings. The thing is that if you are lagging behind, then definitely you will lose. Whatever your job is. You may be the doctor, you may be the farmer, you may be that any other job. If you know the technology, if you are included with the technology, you will shine, you will move forward. Your profit and everything will be increased. So AI will never take a job because AI is made by us. But AI will take a job if we will give the AI opportunity that come and have me. Then definitely AI
But
will
as
take your job.
computerization created more jobs, as Mr. Sharma
Yes.
correctly pointed out, AI, for all you know, may actually help in creating more jobs. These are just a teething industry. These are early times. But you know, the last word to you again is that when you began in 2019, did you actually ever think that it's going to come this far? And what's your prediction for future?
So back when we started, all this AI boom that we're seeing currently, it is based on a neural network architecture called transformers. So it came after a paper was released by Google introducing this transformer architecture to the world, and quickly it took everything by storm. So when we started learning AI, the transformer had already come out, but the applications of the transformer model, let's say ChatGPT or the large language model that we call, were not there. So it is a major shift in the technology development that we have seen in front of our own eyes. And before that, the models used to be very small and very task specific. Let's say speech to text, text to speech, translation, very small models. But after the transformer architecture came out, the models started getting bigger. So there's a thing called scaling law. So the engineers or the scientists quickly discovered that if we scale the amount of data and the compute and the parameters in the model, we can have the model learn more things and become more intelligent. So currently we are riding that wave of scaling law, but scientists have quickly, have now realized that we need much more innovation technology-wise, and we have kind of reached a peak of this architecture. So in the future, all the frontier AI labs, including OpenAI, Google, Chinese labs, all are exploring new architectures so that the limitations of the transformer architecture can be overcome.
Okay.
So in the future, I believe we will need more technical innovations in order to progress further.
Technical innovations, and there are good days to come, and never underestimate the resilience of an Assamese, Bengali, Tamil or anyone, but more importantly, never ever underestimate the resilience of a Bharatiya. Thank you very much this afternoon and for sharing your thoughts and joining us here on CNN-News18. Before we go off, another token of appreciation for taking time out and joining us. Okay, so the final session, I guess, this afternoon, before I hand it back to Anand once again, and this is on startups. Assam has a system called the Nest. So when we have their guests joining us this afternoon, I'm going to try and understand what this whole idea of the Nest is all about. Not just in Assam, the rest of the country, the Prime Minister, all chief ministers are talking about startups being the go-to thing. What happens with startups is it helps the younger people or entrepreneur people essentially to start up. So what's the seed of startups in Assam? What is the Assamese government doing? And what's the future ahead? That is what we are going to be discussing. Now, I would like to request all our guests join us this afternoon. There is Mr. Abhijit Barua, Managing Director, CII. Is he there? Okay. Okay, we also have Sriparna Barua, who's going to join us this afternoon. Okay, I think there's a change of data. There is Mr. Noyan Jyoti Goswami. He's the MD, Assam Innovation and Startup. Thank you. Good afternoon. Then there is Mr. Opkar Nath Suprabhat, COO, Assam. Mr. Ranjit Barua, Founder Director, Aromika Tea Startup. And Mr. Rupankar Bhattacharjee, MD, Kumbhir Kagas. That's an interesting name. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so we'll start talking about the Nest. Okay, so the government has thought about this whole, in fact, the startup capsule is called the Nest. And see, startups are something which some naysayers dismiss it off as, oh, startup mein kya hai, the future is not there, or it's going to be very tough. That's incorrect to say so, right? Because the government is giving a lot of focus on startups, and especially the Assamese government. The Chief Minister himself on multiple platforms has said that that's the future I see for my state. Yeah, I think it's just switch it on. Yeah, you have to switch it on.
Can we hear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so you are spot on to say that the government of Assam has put in a lot of emphasis on startups. In fact, we have a dedicated department on startups, one of the pioneer across the country, which is focusing on startups directly under the CM of Assam. And me and Omkarji, we are part of the Nest that you are talking about, Assam Startup. So this is a Section 8 company been formed under the department to specifically focus on startups across Assam. So you can see the amount of focus coming in from the top.
How many startups roughly are there in the state?
We have registered around 1,500 right now.
The Government of India database, we have more than 2,000 startups in Assam, registered in Assam. But if you look at the number of startups registered with Government of Assam, to whom we provided the My Assam Startup ID, are around 600, 500 to 600.
So this 2,000 has been increasing over a period of time. I mean, I know it's very difficult to put a date, but what has been the percentage of increase of startups?
As per the recent calculation, the increase is around 90% CAGR. The number of growth is 90% CAGR.
And we also run cohorts of 6 months. And we do see a number of applications, going up every 6 months. So, for example, if we had, say, 30, 40 in the first batch, it has become 40, 45 in the second one, and gradually we have been increasing. So we do see the number of startups applying for the ID is increasing marginally, gradually, but for sure it is increasing.
Okay, Mr. Ranjit Barua, how difficult is it to start a startup? And how much help does one need from the government in that case? And how encouraging it is when your own Chief Minister talks about the fact that I want to look at a Naya Assam, a new, younger, or whatever, growing Assam, and startups will play a central role in that.
Startup 6 years ago was not a very big concept, but then with the government initiative coming up, there has been a lot of people who are coming up with new startups, and this idea is actually being accepted by a lot of young students also. in a startup, a basic idea to make it commercially viable is very important. And we being cohorts of Assam startup had got initially hand-holding support, and it was very helpful in giving a clarity to our business ideas. Main thing is how do we commercialize the idea? And I'm sure with a lot of issues coming up with the support, and we also got support from IMCIP and also the funding support. This all helped us to make a product, our idea, more visible, more market friendly, more accessible, and access to newer international markets. So it's a continuous process. A lot of institutions, a lot of support are coming up, and I believe with the new government initiative, a lot more younger generation would be encouraged to take up entrepreneurship as a career.
See, the thing about startups also, they have to break away from the mold. They can't be in the traditional setup. You have to think of out-of-the-box ideas. That's also a challenge because we don't know how many people are going to accept your out-of-the-box idea, you know, like Zepto or something. Who would have thought? I mean, there's so many such startups which have now become a part of our life. But when you began one, or when you thought of one, were you scared? And do you think people are willing to see the risks, accept the risk, and people also want to innovate? That pattern as far as Indian consumers are changing?
So when we started our company, so our company name is Kumbhi Kagas, and Kumbhi means Jal Kumbhi. We have taken the name from the Sanskrit origin, Jal Kumbhi, which in English we know as water hyacinth, and in Assamese we call it Meteka. So it's a water-based, it's a weed, which is a very big problem for the wetlands of India. So we thought already it was a problem. So for choosing a product which will be little relatable is what we thought initially when we, when we were actually making the product from our end. And for the people to accept our product was a very big challenge initially, we thought, because what we are doing is we are making paper out of it, which is acid-free, chemical-free, and bleach-free. So nowadays we have seen that we were actually focused on the trend of people focusing towards eco-friendly products, and that's how judging their basic what they are thinking of and where the shift towards the trend is going actually, that we have analyzed, and after that approaching the public and making them understand. So awareness is one of the most important part, I think, if I'm connecting with your question. Am I going right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So awareness is a part where we were very much, because people, they are not aware of. People want fancy white paper sheet, which is generally used in offices and all. But we thought that there is people say that it's a niche, but the corporate gifting market was very good for us. So I'm just giving a small case study, how our company thought, how to approach and how to understand. Like corporate gifting market still is there. Like we are making paper in digital India. We were talking about AI, but we are making paper. How come paper? Because nowadays, even when I was sitting over there, I was noting down the name of our speakers, previous speakers. I was not writing down on this paper. I was doing it on paper, on my mobile phone, right? So that's how I understood that even if we start making paper, that paper can penetrate into two different sort of markets. One will be corporate gifting market, because in corporate gifting market, people, they are now trying to find some other material, some different sort of material that can build a corporate gift. That was our first thing we thought, and that clicked for us. And the second was the packaging market, which we are trying to get into now, because nobody is interested in plastic anymore. Everybody wants a paper which is eco-friendly and chemical-free. So that's how we try to understand the India market, what they want. And it starts at home. I just want to share a small example of how to understand the market. First, approach your family. Like I walked up to my parents, I walked up to my father, and I showed the paper which I made for the first time. I showed it to my father, and he called it an ugly piece of paper sheet. And he said that, like when you buy and a person, tomorrow I have to sell my product to them. So I think if in that way we start with our family first, because Indian families are huge.
So, yeah, but again, just when we were having this AI session also, and one of our panelists did mention the fact that our computers actually helped in generating jobs. So it's always about innovation. The same paper which maybe you're not going to use in a diary or to make notes, the same paper can be put to some other use. I mean, you still carry those paper bags which are replacing. But this is the thing. This is where a startup, when they begin the operations, Innovation comes with its challenges and risk factors. You think that's where the nest or the government's help comes in?
Absolutely. I mean, these are the ideas we want to fund and promote, to be very honest, as a government, right? Probably the example of the consumer as your family is not the best example, because, you know, you always kind of find some kind of criticism from your family always when you try to do something different. But I would say from a government point of view, from the Nest and Assam startup point of view, these are the ideas, innovative ideas that we would like to promote, not just in India, probably globally as well, right? And that's what the entire concept on Nest is all about. You know, get them in, nurture them, and help them to grow.
And how much of the government help can, I mean, you know, they can just give that initial push, right? At the end of the day, the product has to be the king, where they then, you know, on their own, that auto mode. So that is also important. Is that also the criteria which the government tries to keep in mind when they are deciding to give that help to the startups over here?
So, just going to that, startup has a distinct journey, right? They start with ideation, they goes to prototyping level, then some minimal viable product, then to just market entry, then they look forward to the market. So the aim and objective of the government is to take the startup from the valley of death. What is the valley of death? We need to understand. The valley of death is when startup started their prototyping and started making their own business or entry into the market. That is the crucial period where any idea or any startup can die. So from central government to the state government across India, the level of funding that the government does is they start from around 4-5 lakhs rupees on ideation level. They goes up to 1 CR or 2 CR to fund the startups on that scale up stage. So government support the startup in every stage. They support on prototyping up to 25-30 lakhs. They support with a minimum investment amount of around 50-60 lakhs. And again, they come up with around 1 CR. So up to 1 to 2 CR government can invest in a startup, because these are public money end of the day, right? And when we encourage innovations, we need to look at the viability of the particular startups as well. Yeah. So the recent concept, there is a good concept that government is working on, and we already have implemented that across the sectors, that government is no longer giving only grants to startup. Government has started putting their own money as an investment into the startup. It's an equity investment. The reason is government not there to make profit. Government is there to support the startup as a part of the journey. Let's say if government of Assam is putting money into the startup, so we also look for our money to grow. Yeah. In a way, or the follow-on funding of the startups is our responsibility. Connect them to the proper market and give them a proper market opportunity is a responsibility. Once my money is there, I look that in a very diligent way, very crucial way to support them. So this is another crucial initiative they wanted to take at this point of time.
So I'm going to correct myself a bit, because to start a startup, you do not have to break away from the tradition. You have to innovate on the tradition. And Mr. Barua's Aromika's tea startup, I'm told, is very fascinating. Zelensky tea to the Prime Minister, the Bhoot Jalokia tea. That's also a very, very interesting innovation which has taken place. And this is on a very traditional product.
Ma'am, I believe that to survive, you need to have some creativity, some innovations. So we have always seen Assam tea as a black CTC orthodox. So when we started, we thought of why not do something else, add an extra dash of creativity to the plain Assam tea.
Extra dash which was added onto a Zelensky tea. How is that tea different?
Ma'am, Zelensky tea
which incidentally reached Zelensky.
I don't know, but it has definitely reached Ukraine. I'll tell you the story behind it. When the war started, the role of President Zelensky just encouraged me. I said, he is standing up for his country against a mighty rival. So he's very strong. I said, my Assam tea is as strong as him. So basically I was promoting Assam tea. I said, Zelensky, really strong. So I said, Assam black tea. So my idea was to promote Assam. But then it caught in even favor that, and surprisingly, only 2 things were produced in the world at the time. One was some mattress from Taiwan, another was tea from Assam. So it caught the fancy of many ambassadors. They came, met me, and they sent this package to Ukraine and Georgia and many other countries. So
And our Prime Minister ko jo chai bill aaya, how was that different?
So basically, Zelensky was promoting Assam and Assam tea. The tea that was sent to, that was received by Honorable Prime Minister was a very, another very creative, which was called with Swana Panam. Swana means gold, Panam means drink. So we created this blend of Assam tea with 24 karat edible gold. So this gold was brought from France. I said, how far can we go promoting and blending Assam tea? So we added this 24 karat edible gold and a very specially curated tea which was called honey orthodox. The moment you touch it, you get a taste of honey. Only 5 kilos was produced. So we showcased to the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam. He liked it. Then it was gifted to the Honorable Prime Minister of Assam. So in Advantage Assam 2025, we were showcased in front of Honorable Prime Minister. So these are small steps. Innovations need to be there. And same thing, another innovation was the Bhut Jolokia tea. It came up during Corona times. And it became one of the highest selling tea. It doesn't cure corona, but it takes care of the discomfort. Like it takes a cough, cold, migraine, body ache.
So meetha bhi hai aur mirchi bhi hai.
It's deliciously hot.
But by incident, the Prime Minister is in Guwahati. He's just landed in Guwahati a short while back. So unko chai pilaoge aap?
We have gifted set a box, but I don't know whether it's been gifted or not. So, but there are other tea packets that were gifted that are being gifted by the AIDC to different dignitaries. Recent innovations we have come up with is a Bhimkol banana fiber tea bags. So banana fiber tea bags, there are a lot of discussion going on. It's harmful microplastics. So we came up with the Bhimkol banana fiber tea bags, and we are now promoting it. We sent a small lot to New Zealand, Australia, where it has been launched. So hopefully these are innovations that will help the rural economy also. Suppose there is a huge demand for it, every rural person who grows a banana plant, Bhimkol banana plant, will benefit. So these are small innovations we're trying to do with Assam tea as a base.
Okay. So we wind up, but the last word, you wanted to say something, the last word to you?
I mean, I just wanted to appreciate all the good work they have been doing, you know, all over the media. So great work.
Okay. So, startups, tradition tempered with innovation. I think that's the big takeaway. If you go by Zelensky tea, pata nahi next tea, community tea, kya pilaoge aap next. But thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Great session. And again, a token of honor from all of us. But thank you so much for taking time out and joining us on CNN-News18.
Well, that was a fantastic session. I'd like to sample and savor some of that tea and banana fiber tea bags. It should not be limited only to Assam tea. Darjeeling, all tea bags should be in banana fiber. Sir, I wish you all the very, very best. Kya baat hai? Amazing. Such brilliant ideas, and that itself shows that the mood of Assam is upbeat. It's positive. With that, we come to a conclusion of this very short but very, very informative and engaging mood of the Assam Townhall. Net takeaway is there is lots of opportunity, there is lots of exuberance, there's lots of enthusiasm, the mood is upbeat, and of course, if it is backed by good governance and perhaps good policy implementation, there is no stopping Assam and its people. So I'm very, very hopeful of that. As we conclude the proceedings with a promise of coming back here again very, very soon, I wish you a very, very happy festive month ahead, and also thank the state government of Assam for backing us, our partners here, of course our friends from News18 Assam who've helped put this up together, the team at the back end. May I please request you all to please applaud the team for their efforts for putting this show together. Thank you. And a big round of applause to you, the audience, who've been so wonderful. Thank you very, very much. We call these proceedings to a close. I thank you all. Lunch is served. Please do join us. Thank you very much. Namaste.